Welcome to the He Said, She Said podcast. I'm your host, Chris Vibes, and one of the topics that we're going to be talking about today is single fatherhood. Today, I have as my speaker or my guest speaker is Mr. Alan Oliver. Mr. Oliver, welcome to the podcast, and we appreciate you coming out today. If you could, so you are a single father, right?
Yes, I was.
Okay, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, like what do you do, your age, and give us some highlights that you've experienced from being a single father.
Well, first of all, thank you, Chris and Carl.
Hmm.
I appreciate you all availing this opportunity to me to speak on my experience as being a single father.
Okay, absolutely.
So, my name is Alan Oliver. I'm 56 years old,
Mhm.
and I met my children's mother when I was in college at Russ College. Go Bearcats! And we started dating, and we'd always talked about getting married one day. And we always said that we wanted to have the perfect pair of children, a boy and a girl. Um, and of course, you know, when you dating someone you're in love, you know, we'll never get divorced, never get divorced. Well, I learned to never say never. But we always said that if anything ever happened and we parted, went our separate ways or whatever,
Mhm.
that I would raise my son and she would
Okay.
raise our daughter. Or if we had more than two children, I
Mhm.
would raise the boys and she would raise the girls.
So she was already, I guess, had her mind set that you guys would share whatever, I guess, parenting if you guys were to split up.
Yes,
Okay.
because we both came from um, pretty middle class families
Mm-hmm.
um, who raised their children to respect one another and you know raise their kids. And
Mm-hmm.
so we always said, hey, if something ever happened, I'll raise our boys and you raise our daughters. Because the way I see it now, I hope don't nobody take this the wrong way. If you do it, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
But a man can't raise a female child to be a woman. He can raise a good daughter, but he can't raise her to be a woman. And by the same token, a woman can't raise a male child to be a man. She can raise him to be a good individual, a good person, respecting everything, but to be a man. And the reason I say that is because it's biblical.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've never had a cycle. I wouldn't know what to do. My daughter came to me.
Right.
They were like, God, Jesus, Holy Ghost, Adonna, somebody help me,
Mm-hmm.
get me out of here.
Right.
And the same thing with women raising a male child. There's so many things that she can't teach him to do as a man. And but society
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Society
will
is,
try to tell us that, oh yeah, yeah, you can raise that child.
yeah.
No, you can't raise him to be a man. Point blank. Because when she goes to take a pee,
Mm-hmm.
she has to sit.
Right.
Men don't sit when they take a pee.
Right.
Men shake themselves off. She's never shaken herself off.
Right.
Okay? Men shake themselves off.
Yeah.
And then some of them take a tissue and they damp it their head and they throw it away. So they don't drip in their pants. Women don't know how to teach men and children to do that
Right.
because that's not what they're accustomed to doing.
Well, I mean, going on that point, when a woman does try to do that, that's when you have the boys who start acting more feminine, and they'll start to have those tendencies to do things like the mother, and that's why we have issues nowadays anyway. Because there's so many women out there who want to be single parents, single mothers, and they want to push the father away, and all that's doing is hurting the child.
Well, as I said, in college, we always talked about that.
Hmm.
And I remember my freshman English teacher,
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, Dr. Njaku. She was talking, and we were just having a discussion in class. And so we were talking about raising children, and she gave the example of the lioness and the lion.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And at first, it didn't make much sense to me. I'm 18, 19, you know. But anyway, so what she said, think about it. In that group, the lion is the head. The mother takes care of the meals. She goes out and she gets the meal. She prepares it. She brings it back. The father eats first. Then the children and the mother eat. Um, the lion as the head, he's there for punishment, to train the males and the females
Mm-hmm.
how to do things. The mother's there to nurture them. Okay. In our society today, because unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
some males are missing in the family. I don't want to say um, all
Mm-hmm.
or a great deal because I don't know all families. So I'll say some are not there. When the man is not there, the mother, when she's raising that child,
Mm-hmm.
she's raising him as a female because that's all she knows how to be a female.
That's true.
She doesn't know how to be a man.
Now you say, in today's times, most households are, you know, fatherless, or there's just a mother there trying to raise the son to be a man. Um, who would you say is more at fault for it being that way? The man just leaving and neglecting his responsibility, or there's been some type of struggle for the man to stay around, and it's more just convenient to just let go, or what is the woman pushing the man away, or what do you think?
Well, I'll say the fault is equal on both sides. In the African American community, I can speak on that because I've been black all my life. I've never been white, so I don't know how to do that. But in the African American community, some men think that, well, if I'm not in the mother panties, I have no responsibility to the child. Even though he had just as much responsibility and action into making that child as she did. Women, and I know this is a hard thing to say, but women also have to be more selective of who they want to breed with. You know, female lioness, and this is true. You know what I'm saying? Female lioness, if the lion that's trying to woo her,
Mm-hmm.
trying to get that good stuff between her legs,
Mm-hmm.
if she sense he's not strong, he's weak in some area, she'll fight him to the death. Why? Because she wants the seed that's going into her to produce quality. If a woman is dating a guy,
Mm-hmm.
you already know, I say this, but I'm just being me.
Okay.
You already know how that Negro is.
Okay.
While you all are dating, what makes you think that if you give him what's between your legs, he's going to change? What you got between your legs is no different than what the woman got over there between her legs. She may know how to use it better. You may use it, but it's the same thing. And I say this in all sincerity. You had one piece of pussy. You've had pussy is pussy.
Right.
A dick is a dick. Women have to be more selective. And if you just going out there because You want somebody to make you feel good, or you looking for a father. And let me say this, get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter, when I was out of her life for a minute,
Mm-hmm.
it so hurt me because I remember she told me she grew up and we got to talking. She said, Dad, because you weren't there and this other individual was in my life trying to be a father, he really wasn't because you didn't teach me what to look for. I lost my virginity early and I was in the military and I lost it to a married man.
Mm-hmm.
And it so hurt me because I was looking for a father figure. See, when the man is absent in a child's life, that puts a hole there. And they want to fill it with their dad. And so they're looking for any and everything. But if there's a different man every 3 or 4 months, every 6 months, you don't know what's real and what's not.
Right.
Yes, women have to be more selective, but men, we have to start thinking with our head up here and not our head down here.
Right. Right.
Because eh, 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 when I was young, hey, to get in your panties,
Mm.
I'll tell you I was Jesus' best friend. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you I'm the one sitting on the right hand side of God.
Right. Right.
Cause I got one goal. I
Mm-hmm.
got one agenda.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not how it should have been. But because in our community, the man is absent and then everything you see in your neighborhood is not positive.
True.
Think about it. I grew up in the heart of South Memphis, 3rd and Parkway, up under the bridge, Patton Street Bridge, Patton Street Park.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for foster home. I had a lovely mother and father in my foster home that raised me. But before then, when I went to school, A.B. Hill, Lincoln Junior High, Carver High School, when I was going to school, the cats I saw in the neighborhood, I'm going to school at 7 o'clock in the morning, they all standing in the park on the corner passing a bottle or trying to get up $1.50
Mm-hmm.
to get that half a pint of gin. And 6 people drinking off of it,
Right.
half a pint. And guess what? When I got out of school at 2:15, 2:30, 3 o'clock, I saw them same guys sitting on the same corner.
Trying to get another
I'm saying,
dollar.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's all I saw.
Yeah.
So as I was saying about the lioness,
Mm-hmm.
she'll fight that lion to the death if she don't think he's a good provider.
Well,
He
that's true. Now, to I guess, okay, yes, men, we need to be more selective as far
No,
as
women need to be more selective. We as men need to start thinking positive about us. You know, that dickhead to get you in trouble.
well, that's what I'm saying. Nowadays, instead of the woman trying to ensure that she has a um I guess prominent male as the person that she's laying down with, women nowadays, they don't seem to, you know, be concerned about, whether this is going to be a good father, a good husband, if he's going to be a good provider, or or such. They have a second plan. They have another agenda, regardless of whether he's a good provider or father or caretaker or whatever. Okay, well, I have the government, the court system on my side, and they're going to force money out of his pocket, or even if it's not out of his pocket, they're just going to give me money if I lay down with him. So it's a win-win situation for.
No,
I
it's
mean,
a
that's how.
lose-lose situation. That's the worst thing
you know.
that could ever happen to the black family
Well, I know
when they
that, but
instituted welfare,
right,
when they
exactly,
started
exactly,
instituting public housing.
right, right.
When you tell when you tell the man that, well, when you tell the woman, hey, I know you got 2.3 children. That's what they say. I don't know how you can have 0.3 children, but that's what statistics said. Right?
Okay.
But when you have 2.3 children
Mm.
and you tell this mother, look, if you put that man out of the house, I give you free housing.
Mm-hmm.
I give you money to do
Mm-hmm.
this with it. Now, when I'm giving you something, I can tell you what to do with it because I'm controlling what I give you.
True.
And based on what you do determines the amount that you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
So the man is not there in the house to help raise the child. Back to the lion and the lioness.
Mm-hmm.
When that male lion, she has those children, when that male lion gets a certain age, guess what he's going to do? He's going to try that mother in the pride. That's why she wants a strong lion
Right.
there
Right.
because he's going to grab that joker. He's going to get him under the throat. And if he has to, he'll kill him.
Right.
Okay. Now, I'm not advocating on telling men to go out and kill their children. No, 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 no. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
But he has to be put in check because when he's not there, the male becomes a rogue. And you can see this if you watch the Nature Channel.
Mm-hmm.
They had a problem back in the early 80s. I think it was early 80s. They were in Africa and Asia.
Mm-hmm.
They started having problems with these lions
Mm-hmm.
going attacking elephants, the bull elephant. That's not natural. Lions don't do that. But what was happening, she had a weak male
Mm-hmm.
that impregnated her. That joker ran off and she had to raise those cubs. And because she couldn't train them how to be a lion, they went rogue. And so they was wondering what was going on. They said, why are these male lions, these juveniles, why are they attacking these elephants like that? Because lions don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And as they began to study it, they found out that the lion wasn't there to help raise those cubs and put them in check and show them, say, there's a check and balance.
Mm.
So there's a check and balance.
So because that lion wasn't there to show the cubs the proper thing to hunt,
And
okay,
how,
they and how to hunt, they're out there just doing anything,
it,
and
right,
and all types of misdirected, efforts and everything was coming of that. Wow, wow,
right.
that's
And,
that sounds like society of
and
today, right?
today, and they knew when that lion made a certain roar, they knew to get in check
Right,
because if they didn't, there was a consequence.
right.
You know, um, I used to work for this job, won't call the name of it,
Mm-hmm.
but I was doing a job fair. And I remember I went to a church and there were other uh, industries out there for job fair. And I remember this one man, good job, company in Memphis. He was like, hey, we ready. Great benefits. And we're starting off at this much an hour. And so everybody that showed up, you do your application day. I'm going to get you hired. I remember I saw a mother there. She was probably 61, 62. And so he she asked about the application because she get in and do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked her, said, why are you here? Dude. She said, I'm here for my 23-year-old son. He overslept this morning. Who the hell does that? But the
Well,
reason there was no father in the house to help raise him. So guess what? He's 13. His mama's still making up his bed.
right. Washing his clothes.
His mom's still washing his clothes. He's too trifling to take the clothes hamper himself to the laundry room. So his mama got to pull it to the laundry room to do it. He's not washing dishes. He's not doing anything. He eats and he goes and he plays.
I can say as my experience, with raising my kids and my tendency versus the tendency of my wife, it's like I was more so looking forward to my children growing up
Mm-hmm.
and carrying their own versus my wife was looking more so to keeping them as babies. You see what
Exactly.
I'm saying? And so it seems like a lot of women out there, they do have the tendency to want their babies to stay babies versus the father wants to see them stand on their own 2 feet and make it to a certain distance in life. So, I can
Exactly.
see how that goes that way. Yeah.
You know, my mama told me, God rest her soul.
Mhm.
I was a single parent. I was raising my son. Of course, she helped me with him. But I remember she told me when I got him, she said, "Look, that's my grandson. I love him. I'm gonna be there for you. I'm not gonna be your personal babysitter.
Mhm.
Your sister's not gonna be your personal babysitter." And she said, "There's sometimes you're gonna want to go out on dates, and you're gonna have to cancel it because you're not gonna be able to take him."
I could say, speaking on that, I'm glad you said that. The one of the problems that's wrong with society today is we don't know how to show tough love. We don't know how to be tough on each other. Everyone's sensitive. Everyone has to aid one another, and you can't do this. You can't put your hands on this person. Things of that nature. I think that's something that we should have. There should be some type of, I guess, repercussion that you can give your children
Mm-hmm.
or your in-laws or whatever to kind of show that, hey, look, you can't just do whatever and not have a consequence behind it. So,
Right.
you
And I'm gonna say with this, I hope don't know how to sue your podcast,
know,
but
speak your
we
mind.
have a lot of women out here and men too
Yeah,
teaching their male children how to be sissies.
right.
Okay, teaching them how to be sissies
Are you saying
and
intentionally?
intentionally, yeah.
So
And
what's
then
what's the
everybody
benefit
gets a
behind that?
prize. Who does that? You came in last place and you get a prize.
Oh yeah,
If you don't
yeah.
get your
And go for
and
first
get
place.
first, second, or
Right,
third place,
right,
fourth place don't get nothing.
right. A
Oh, but
participation trophy is what they call it.
participate in what? Get your butt out there and practice. Get
Exactly.
out there and work. The Bible said man doesn't work, he doesn't eat.
That's true.
Get your butt out there and put some work in
Mhm.
to get what you want. Stop waiting on the government to do something for you and you do it. Um, there was an incident I had with my son one time. I was teaching him. He had graduated from the tricycle, and I had the little bike. Teach him how to ride it, and
Okay.
had put the training wheels on it. So I decided, well, it's about time to take the training wheels off. Take the training wheels off because now I'm a man. It's kind of new to me raising a child by myself.
Mhm.
And so I remember I took the training wheels off, and he was riding. We get ready if I go catch him.
Mhm.
And Mama said, "Now you gotta let him ride and get the feel of it, get the balance on his own." I was doing that, and so one time he riding and I didn't catch him, and he fell and he scraped his knee and was just bleeding. Probably wasn't anything big, but back then, you thought, oh, he's bleeding. I grabbed him, I run in the house, and I called my mom. Wasn't no cell phone then. I grabbed my mom, died. Mama, is something wrong with Anthony? What's wrong? He fell off the bike, Mama, and he scratched his knee. My mama told me,
What?
"Boy, if you don't put your big girl drawers on," so look, he's a male child. He's going to get hurt. Now you don't want to die, son. he's gonna break an arm, he's gonna break a leg. That's what male children do. He's a male. Let him get scratched up a little bit. That'll train him. Okay, next time I get on here, I gotta be more steady. If I want to ride this bike, I gotta be more steady. I gotta concentrate on what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, and I was like, because I'm expecting. My mom said, "Well, give him a hug and do that. Man, give him a hug. Go put him back on that bike. Wipe it off. Put a band-aid. Go put him back on that bike. But mom, go wipe it off. Put a band-aid on and put it back. Put him back on that bike.
Okay, I see Mama here. She's definitely
Right?
giving some good advice here.
Yeah. Because she said he's a male child.
Right. And speaking on your mom, it seems like that's one thing that's missing, that type of instruction.